Hello everyone. I did my project on the Amuesha people. They're in Peru in South America. So yeah, encyclopedia.com has their location in the region in the high central jungle of Peru. So that's going to be thickly forested jungle land. Excuse me. There's some rivers winding through the region. It's in the Peruvian Amazon rainforest. This is a global South people group. And yeah, it's going to be in the southwestern part of South America. So what it's going to be like to live there, there's high humidity, heat, rain, quote, annoying and deadly creatures ranging from red-bellied piranhas to poison dart frogs and bushmaster snakes. Um, and then the way people live there, that they'll make use of modern clothing and other resources, making periodic trips to more modern and civilized areas, according to people in the Amazon rainforest there. However, they still largely rely on living off of the land and yeah, agriculture, hunting, gathering, and things of that nature. So if anybody's going to be a missionary here, they have to be prepared to live in those conditions um, and to let go of some of the comforts of the Western world that we often enjoy here in America and that we take for granted. The language they speak is Yanesha. Yanesha is spoken in the Pasco and Junin regions of Peru. That's where they live. There's about 7,500 reported speakers of Yanesha, which you'll see is about the population of this people group. And then I got that from the Omniglot website. And then according to Wikipedia, I know Wikipedia, but couldn't find much on it. It was largely influenced by the Inca Empire, which would make a lot of sense given their geographical location. And then in terms of gospel progress here and population, so Joshua Project reports 7,500. Encyclopedia.com gave 7,000 as a conservative estimate. So yeah, seems safe to assume they're somewhere around 7 to 7,500. And it also reports that this is an unreached people group, although they're not a frontier people group, so they have been reached in some way, although I couldn't find any information on who or when or where. Um, and that was 45% Christianity, but only 0.8% evangelical. So it seemed reasonable, in my estimation, to assume that this is probably Roman Catholic influence. Um, and so, yeah, in terms of a gospel sharing strategy, we need to prepare to potentially interact with Roman Catholic tradition, given that the small amount of reachness is likely Catholic. And we're not trying to build seminaries here or anything, it would seem. It seems like we're searching for, or we're seeking, by God's help, just converts to Christianity and hoping to plant just a church, starting small, maybe planting one church and then eventually planning, obviously, many more churches if the 7,000 person people group is going to be converted optimistically. And then in terms of strategy, just a bold preaching of the gospel. This needs to be saturated with kindness and humility and generosity. Definitely going to need humility in order to interact with and build meaningful relationships with people who live in just such a different part of the world than what we're used to here in modern day America. Um, and yeah, full disclosure, guys, I could not find a ton of information on the Amuesha people. I did the best I could, but this is a people group I went with, and I figured that just because there isn't a whole bunch of information on the people, or there isn't a whole bunch of the people themselves, doesn't mean that this isn't a group of image bearers of God who are still, they need Jesus just as much as I do, which is like infinitely. Um, so yeah, it's my prayer that somebody by God's grace would feel called to go to a jungle place, go to a place that's scary to us. I'm sure it certainly sounds scary to me, and be bold and faithful to the Great Commission and share the gospel with these people. And it's my prayer that by God's grace, they would know and love Jesus and be saved. And yeah, here's my references. Thank you guys for your time. That's all I got.